perhaps? Perchance? Yorick is a notable Jace counter, is worth noting. I said it's notable, and then it's worth noting. Yeah, so many notes. He doesn't have barrier. I think Sheer wins this. Black Cleaver for both, Tabby for both, but no Maiden, that's big. No Maidens. Tarzan letting the wave go and meet the other wave. Wanted to get the ghouls. Now, Sheer can't run away from the Yorick now. That is a problem. Ignite put on, gets him division in the brush, gives him a little bit of reduction in the healing. The E misses, and I think that'll be it. Tarzan will get some decent damage, trying to get some extra armor shred through, but the Jace melee range is just too powerful. Ghouls block out a little bit, it gets a little bit spooky. Tarzan, can he get the other heal from the Q? Is getting close now. The Ghouls doing the work, and the Q's gonna hit! Tarzan wins the 1v1.
Welcome to Onivia Highlights. These are the best highlights from the LPL 2025 Split 2.
Flash for free. Maybe that's something they can return to. Dragon's still going to be started. AL not contesting that. We'll presumably head over towards the grubs. Hope not a level 6
Since he
yet.
wasn't on top side when they look for the gank, you need to be careful because he could be on this side of the map. Yeah, they're aware of it though. They're a dog that's gained sentience and a werewolf. Shit, getting good damage here. He's really going hard for this. Remember, there's a lot of healing from Yorick, though. Yeah, I think that was a misjudgment from Sheer. Didn't realize he'd get a 1v1 like that. Shadow has to flash out after taking the Raptors. And that'll be it. Jinx Ult was headed either towards the Pantheon or towards the Scion. And instead, anyone's Legend will go towards the mid lane. No flash on Care. Shanks didn't even need to ult there. How the heck did Care die? This champion do over time. I feel like I've seen more Yorick than most because I used to play so much with people who played it. Dragon's going to go down. Smite steal at best. Not going to happen. Jway going to get a pick onto Kyle, but there's a triple knockup from the Brawl ult, and the Pantheon ult goes wide. The double shove back, only a single actually. Kyle gets out of that one. Shanks probably should have flashed a little early on that one. Tarzan goes in now though. Maybe seeing that they're a bit out of position, but that's maybe a little too far. Where's the damage? You don't have hope here. That's an overplay from Tarzan. The first click Shin's out. Getting some damage down, but not the most. Jinx Ult misses, and I think that removes any chance of a kill. I assume had flash and barrier. Would have been risky to FPX in the long run. Flandre winning out on the top side, 20 CS lead. We will definitely check in on that matchup later. Kyle taking some poke. Good job there by Dway to land some good skill shots. Tower, low HP, Kyle gets the shield up, and he gets the ult teleport behind them from the Yorick. He has Triforce, he has tier 2 boots. Here comes the Yorick and the Maiden. They get the instant stun. Tries to go forwards, can't get the Q just in time, gets it now. So 1 kill on the board for Flandre on the Yorick. Sion coming in though, and this is his bread and butter. Feels like he can't do that much though. Arrived too late to make a difference as a front line. And shit, he's just going to slowly be dragged down into the abyss. Both top laners teleporting, both dying. 2 for 1, 3 for 1 make that. As FPX lose top, mid, and jungle. Killed. I think the biggest problem is you just gave a kill over to Yorick. That's one thing. The biggest thing for me is you have just lost your teleport on Sion, who can no longer permanently reset. 1v2 potential. Went down to 32 HP to Kyle. It's 31 more than he needed. I'm really worried about this Yorick matchup now. I think that Sheer is going to have a window of time where he can't impact the map. He won't have teleport. And that means that you can start a 4v4 around the map if you need to. No Sion's going to be able to come down to this swamp. Shadow is not tanky enough. Jway misses out. Does dodge out in that W. Shanks tried. He uses ult, looks like. Tried to flash ult. Kag got out with his ult. I guess we'll see a picture. I'm sure we'll see a replay of what happened between those mid laners in a bit. Maybe afraid that there was a teleporter not going to come in from Care, so wanted to find a winner to all in. Knows that Sheer doesn't have to teleport himself. Yeah, this is it. What happened here? Ooh, flashes over the combo. Ooh. Very, very close. Oh, so his ult was still down from the first play. And now Care is going to be able to combo up with Assume. I don't think Sheer... I was about to say I don't think he saw Assume coming. Gets the 1-for-1 anyway. Assume gets to pick up a little bit of that. But Tarzan's now here with the support around the corner. Assume had ult, had barrier. Misjudges the map play. Shanks brawling it out with both their carries. FPS can't even get close to this now. That's a huge strategic mistake. Tarzan just soloing the enemy ADC. Well, you know, Shanks did a bit with the soldiers. or rather his role within the game could be very important. Herald getting chunked. FPX using the Nico to get some play into the Herald, but Hope is left alone. AL go for the objective and leave the ready carry alone. No flash on the Jinx, can't escape. How do they retreat? 5v4, can FPX get anything across the map? FPX, I feel like they've really not used their power spike well. I think they had a one-item power spike on Pantheon, on, I suppose, the Scion as well. Look how badly this trade's going to go now, by the way. Look how much healing he's going to get from this Q. Sheer cannot play this. Has to use the ult, but this is the 1v2. We were talking about Flandre. How much work has he got? That's a lot of damage coming through from the Kai'Sa. Has a Q for the heal. It's a lot of damage, but he can't escape the passive. Not ready to 1v2 just yet. You can see how close it gets. That'll be scarier later on, but misjudges his first one. Is he strong enough to team fight yet? Well, we'll see. FPX have that strong Kai'Sa. Their Yorick is not a team fighter compared to the Scion. Tarzan, can you get the steal? What? Jinx? Jinx gets the steal? Shadow doesn't get the smite. And Hope walks away with a dragon. What? Excuse me? Nani? Anyone's Legend gonna walk up, use their full grips on the tower. FPX, what the hell happened there? The smite didn't even come through from Shadow. The Jinx ult Dragon Steel comes through again. One of the classics of pro play. Wasn't even like the full max range damage though. Hope just slams it home. What the hell? Oh, the game's falling apart now. You've just lost an inner turret, an outer turret, and Dragon. I mean, yeah, Shanks, you might end up shutting him down, but he still has ult and he still has flash. Tries to get out, doesn't use either of those things. FPX will get themselves onto the Atacon. They will get themselves Atacon now, but how many ults did they just use? They used the teleport and they used Shadow's ultimate. I think anyone's Legend give over the Dragon. Do you really want to fight this in a 4v5? Well, maybe they do. Alright, Yorick's teleporting up. Atacon going down. We're just embarrassed by one objective steal. Almost gets another with a Jinx ult. Tarzan pops the ult, will get out. Kyle will W backwards. FPX get a kill, they get the Atacon. It is something. I still think they trade down in the overall play though. Losing a chance at Dragon. Okay, well, maybe FPX can use the GAs to kind of, you know, buy some time on the map. Potentially go towards the Baron. Only a minute and a half left of it. Look, I know that they get a tower here, but realistically, FPX needed to be a lot further ahead in gold. You need to be able to force plays continuously. This Jinx is going to become absolutely disgusting. You've got the Shojin on Yorick now. I forget that was the second one. I don't know if it was going to be the Starix, but the Shojin coming through means that he has just ridiculous amounts of Q up time, and the damage from the Q goes higher too. It's a lot. You're absolutely right, Clutch. You have to use this for something. You've just earned this GA. You do have the Leandries on. You do have the Leandries on the Talir, and Kai'Sa is one of the better killers of Baron. Flick back, not going to land on Tarzan. Sheer trying to group up and do something. And look, Flandre, when he doesn't have TP, can't fix these situations by hyper split pushing. They get a Pantheon ult there into the mid lane, but there's still a turret here. Sheer goes forwards. They might be able to get Shanks. Joy gets an ultimate. And Tarzan gets a great bot back there. Sundered Sky doing a lot of work. Assume trying to outplay with the ult and the barrier. And I suppose it's a 1 for a half if you count the withdrawal as that. Tarzan, magnificent ult to buy. Alright, Baron actually earned from FPX. We think. Well, there's no smite for anyone's life. It won't be a steal, but do they get out alive? They have no GAs anymore. Flandre walking forwards. Remember, this Yorick is not really a tank. They do drop some damage onto him, but they don't kill him. Joy has to run away from Flandre, and Shadow's gone down. Hope starts to get some resets, and that is a problem. It is the end of all days if Jinx starts the resetting and gets a couple out of it. The ult's going to miss, and suddenly 3 go down. Flandre gets himself a double kill out of that too as the Yorick, and they'll head towards the bottom side of the map, set up towards the Dragon spawning in a minute. Very good to stay in at all stages in the game. Yorick is actually very good versus Fiora. I think it used to be a problem when Fiora could, like, understanding of it, but it has changed over time. Dragon goes down. Oh, yeah, scary. The ult goes wide from Hope. Yorick actually on the side lane again now has the Starix. Flandre is very strong, folks. He is very strong. Care, though, I will say, 2,000 gold up, has a death cap. I mean, Talir's kind of spooky now, too. God, damn, that's a lot of damage. Level 17 Flandre. Hang on, he's teleporting out. Oh, it's going to be close, it's going to be close. Gets the stun onto him. Now the problem is, you're in the 1v3 scenario. Great Dark Procession. Ult comes through from Care. You need to be careful there, Talir. That Q's going to smack you! Care goes down! And it's a 1-for-1 in a 1v3 scenario. Anyone's Legend, and FPX just don't contest. They give up one. They give up one. Instead, electing to go towards topside on the Baron instead. Dragon goes down. Anyone's Legend don't have the best vision on topside, but they still have bits and pieces. Talia will very proactively put down there, but it does mean that Talia is not on the Baron, giving the DPS. The ult's going to come through for a bit of a check, and Tarzan comes in but fails to get the steal. Has the GA, doesn't have to die in the front line here, can just revive. And that will be Baron for one? Baron for one, 4 members still having it. Sheer still flashing. Really not sure about that, and Care has to teleport. Great damage coming from the Talia. If Care makes it out alive, this is a different scenario. Can he make it out with his ultimate? No, he can't. He already used it before of it. Teleport, not going to be there for long enough either. The flip back misses. Care will just have a very elongated funeral procession under the top lane turret. I mean, Baron on 3 people. She just goes wild. Obviously, when she's not with an enchanter, her game plan changes a little bit. Pushing with the Baron buff. Yorick on the other side of the map has 4 grubs. I don't think FPX win this map trade, by the way. Yorick walking down to the play. Remember, Yorick, again, not really a team fighter. Wants to be in a 1v1. See how Flandre can get someone separated, isolated out. This is not the best terrain, actually, and I mean, they're just going to try and burst the dragon. Use the ult, the max rank of the Talia. The blast cone might be able to help, but it's not going to be soon enough. Hextech Soul claimed by FPX, and maybe that is the moment. Fantastic Pop Blossom gives a lot of damage. The Braum goes down, and Assume goes into the backline. The sweep from his ear, doing some work. Is that enough? I think it might be. FPX, they used a great Nico ult, but no, Kaiser still alive. Flandre mopping up at the end, gets some healing, but he can't close the distance down. Hextech Soul for FPX claim. Tarzan gets one back. And Flandre, the last person alive, can't clean up. FPX claim a 5 rather, for 3 and take the Hextech Soul. They might have just won the game. I think AL fell into that fallacy of fighting for too many objectives when it should have been the Yorick on the side lane. 5,000 gold on your Yorick is not meant to be used in the team fights. Does get good work down, does clean up some decent amount. It's really hard getting started. No Talia ult this time. No vision either. Struggling to face check. Hextech Soul makes him... that is such a tanky sire. Baron's going to go down, the Synod's going to disengage. And Sheer will get out for free. And once again, AL not really able to use this on Tarzan. Could have flashed to confirm the kill on Tarzan, but I think he would die against Shanks after that point. Jigsaw very nearly killing. What's happening on the other side of the map? Anything? Shadow holding his ult, split pushing as the Pantheon. Can join the play at any time he wants. Teleport back in from Cat. Saras is down, Zonius is up, still safe. FPX crushing through the map, and Sheer is so hard to kill. Nico clone goes in and takes a tower shot and some skill shots. You can see the macro game is very hard to figure out from anyone's Legend now. Shadows, he caught out. Dash for dash. E comes through. That's an insane E from Shadow. Tarzan, his ult's down. That's the blood of their front line. What? This Sun's just going in full in. The Zoom jumps into the back line. What's happening with the carries? Hope jumped onto. What's happening on the other side? Dway's down, but that's not equal to your Jinx. Flandre goes into his GA. Shanks cleans up some bits and pieces. Cat almost goes down. I think the Maiden will take him anyway. So close. No, that Talia's alive. Talia's alive, but it's just Shanks. I think FPX might have done enough damage to see this out. Q dodged away from him, the burn will take him. But I don't know whether Shanks can get back to base in time. He can't. FPX, we thought they'd been outscaled, but they get themselves the Hex Tech. They get themselves the carries. Hopes Jinx gets no clean team fights in this game. And FPX move to 1-0 over the team that just beat BLG.
Welcome to Onivia Highlights. These are the best highlights from the LPL 2025 Split 2.
At least get some eyes on Shadow. What's happening on the other side? Oh, Kyle's gotten into the brush here. Remember, no flash on Sejuani or onto Tristana. Flandre's around the back here. Care, he needs to get the kill. He needs to get the reset. Oh, so close. So close, but not enough. First blood goes over to Flandre on the Poppy. Shanks walking forwards again. Chooses not to go back onto that minion and clear that out. Gets the extra bomb damage onto him. Care misses an auto attack and loses some damage there. Assuming taking a lot of damage onto him now. Early lane went well for FPX. Do you turn things around though? Kyle, low HP. Ignite put onto him. That's the passive, and the minions are still autoing. Hope has one last arrow, but that's it. Does he have an E? Does! Goes forward for an auto attack, but he doesn't get the kill. Now suddenly Shadow's just around the corner. Can he Q and W? I think he could potentially get himself towards a kill here. So close. Hope committing the flash. Tristana or Ziggs left alone in any lane. Tao dives in a single wave. Anyone's Legend composition is not that clean. Dragon goes over, but FPX, again, they're playing around grubs. They're playing around topside right now. That's okay. This is what we were talking about. Dragon goes down, FPX didn't need to force for that. But Anyone's Legend, I mean, what does their composition do? It CCs someone, and then Akali blows them up. They don't have consistent DPS. None at all. Flandre's going to get ulted. That could still be an issue. He has no flash. Shadow has ult, and he hits it. Oh, the Ambassador comes in as well. Aggro was onto Shadow. No chance of a kill. Flandre goes down. No one was coming to help him. Tarzan on top side. Has flash, has impale. Ooh, Hook comes in. Here comes Tarzan. Is that enough? This is a big rotation up. Flandre does have flash, but is he going to have a chance to use it? I don't know. I think he just is. Tarzan gets a great impale onto 3, and that's suddenly going to be Assume. How the hell is Assume under turret? FPX cock up the dive topside. There's no else on Kyle. That's a bit of a problem, but here comes Shanks. Is that going to be enough to clean up? 2 for 1, rather. 2 for 1 in the top side. FPX somehow get their Ziggs under the turret. That is a mistake. 25 seconds till the Dragon. No, Dragon grubs, that's the spawn. Sheer misses his ult. The Impale is absurd, right? What happens here? Oh, no. Assume satchels the Skarner into him. And Kyle. Ooh, great flash away from Assume. But Dwayne might have been left out to dry. Gets the Riptide. Shadow's on top side. Shanks doesn't have his ult just yet. Kyle's doing his best. Impale comes through. Shanks is getting a kill onto someone here, I assume. Dwayne doesn't have the flash. Hope gets his ult. That's one down. And there'll be a second from the Akali. Mistake after mistake from Assume. Over pushing in the top side. Drags his team into the abyss with him. And now Akali is starting to get some gold. This is the point where I think actually FPX start to really sweat. I think before the Akali got to this amount of gold, I think you'd say, well, you know, we can play around grubs. We can play around a better DPS. Now I think... Dragon, taken by FPX. No contest on this. Goes down. FPX need to find... I think the Herald... See how that's going to work out in the way that they want. Shadow walking up. There is flash on Flandre. Doesn't want to use the Q. Needs to wait that out. Oh, has to flash away. The ult misses from Shadow despite it being a point-and-click target. And Flandre punts them out. Big mistake by Shadow and Sheer. They're missing a little bit. Flandre gets out alive. Suddenly that means that the Herald goes into mid lane instead. Yes, the tower does go down. Nautilus ult comes through. It's going to be onto 3 members. That is a huge Nautilus ult. Sheer flashes in, immediately punts it out. That's a problem. Teleport coming in from Shanks. Can Shanks get any kind of cleanup? Maybe not. Care can jump forwards. Flandre comes back into the play. FPX lose their mid lane turret, take top lane, and they take a kill with it. How much do they get off of this play, though? Shanks needs to try and clean up. If you can do, that's huge. Remember, they have the satchel for the tower execution, and they'll get it. It's one there. Punts Flandre back, too, actually. Dragon available. Anyone's Legend holding position in the river. In this brush here, trying to keep vision control. Shanks. Ooh, that's important. If they get some good poke onto him, that can change things. Half HP on the Akali. Hits the E, and there goes the Alistar. Kyle sets up for a great kill. Another great play from our best support in the LPL on current form, and 2 kills swiftly come in for Anyone's Legend. FPX. Disrespect the cow. That should allow Anyone's Legend the ability to take the Dragon. Stop FPX from cross-mapping again. Once again, FPX, they have the 5 grubs. They have great tower killing potential, and they choose not to cross-map. They don't go and push in waves and threaten AL across the map. This is one of the biggest differences between our mid-table and top-table teams in the LPL. Cross-mapping is so much more effective from our top-table team. Shadow is forced to flash out because of another great play from Kyle. This dude's been so exciting to watch over the last month or so. Gonna get his ult pop, does dodge away from that Ziggs, and goes in again. The Impale is huge. Shit is into the backline, and maybe he can do some work, but Shanks is here, doesn't have his ult. How much can he do without it? Care doesn't get wall stunned. Flandre needs to be a bit careful now. 1 for 2 currently, because Assume got blasted. Now Shanks has his ult back up. Anyone's Legend takes him a while to get the Dragon, but they get it nonetheless. They get a bunch of kills on their way out. So much. Care needs 3 items. He needs Infinity Edge and he needs Lord Dominate's Regards. I don't think he gets that in this game. And that's a problem. The Tristana has not been allowed to go towards side lane turrets. Has not been able to use the 5 grubs. This is a problem, though. Hope has gone too far, and the Edge of Night doesn't help you if it is blown by everything in melee range. Shanks can't get himself into the play soon enough. Shanks may be able to get in for an ultimate. Doesn't get across the wall of his way. Shadow going forward again. The Ambassador ult misses. Ah, Sheer's not been great at accuracy on them so far. It is an important kill onto the Varus, and it forces Anyone's Legend out of their jungle. And Anyone's Legend make a slip up. This is a, Why was Hope there, man? Hope had an awesome day yesterday. Today's not been nearly as good. Which is a shame. It is a shame. Atakan started up Anyone's Legend. This is Ruinous. Would empower their dragons. Of course, FPX get it. Would empower their grubs. Trying to walk through Tribrush is a problem. Kyle has ult, and he wants to be a frontline. Keep them away from the Atakan. Shanks comes through, and he gets straight onto Assume. Oh, Shanks. Shanks has been insane in this game so far. Shanks Akali has been utterly absurd. Can get that R2 over the wall. Misses it, but he does hit the E onto Care. Force him to jump away. Anyone's Legend. Mission accomplished. Kyle holding the Tribrush. The most important thing about an Atakan. Grubs, and they have Triss Sigs. Their split push is very, very good. So I do disagree with that, and I think we've seen plenty of evidence for that over time in the LPL, who's been very, very good at split pushing with Tristana. And getting banned for the resub, by the way, Dark World. Good to see you. XDD indeed. What are the win conditions for each team? FPX really wanted to get ahead with their demolition comp. Get the grubs early and force around them. They go really deep onto Shanks, who does double stasis, both ults, flashes out of the hook, and will fly back into the play if he wants to. Oh, Shanks outplays in the 1v3. Teammates come in, and FPX have just had their ankles not just broken, but shattered. Double kill over to the Akali. And the FPX wondering why they tried at all. But now you're doing this now when you're behind the game. Look how quick you take these towers. Great, cool. And if you get enough gold as the Tristana, you can get towards the Lord. Varus as well. Pops the ult. No way you're closing that champion down. Ooh, Carol dodges out on the Q. Does have his ultimate. Pops it immediately. So, remember, watch that Akali. Tarzan gets Buster shotted away. But Akali left alone to kill that. Well, not left alone. Sejuani, rather. Left alone to die. Tarzan, great angle there. Forces the... It was a Satchel in the Buster shot, by the way. Satchel, I missed which punt away it was. FPX. Try an angle towards the dragon. Free soul for Anyone's Legend. Free soul for them. I want to see Shanks go back and get a Magi's, by the way. If you get Cloud Soul and you get the Magi's for the extra 10% movement speed, oh, you are zooming. Speed running into the back line. Just hitting front line. I think FPX win now, actually. Again, they're not so far behind, that's the game. That's the way it'll happen, but I just don't see that being very likely for FPX. Yeah, I don't see that being very likely. Hello, Sam. Dankeschön. As we see Jway, yeah, he's got a flash. Won't be able to use it. Goes down very, very easily. Anyone's Legend, much more clean game this time. Shank's incredible game on the right, but they're walking into enemy vision. Again, this is the difficulty of walking into an area of the map where you have not swept out, especially when you have something like that Akali waiting just in the wings. Care spots them now, but is it going to be enough to do anything about the goddamn Baron? No, it's not. Shadow's walking over, but it's going to be done just in time. Kyle uses his HP as a resource, delays the investment of FPX going towards that Baron. Guess the...
And, like, I'm sort of looking at some of these breakpoints. This Akali is insanely strong, and I'm going, it's just another FPX 1-2, isn't it? And Shadow now in danger in the middle.
Oh, great flash and pale. Shanks goes forward, and look how much damage the Varus and the Akali immediately put down. Assume not the easiest time on the Rift for him. 0 and 5 on the Ziggs, struggling to make an impact. Besides the weight in the wallets, he's now become for Anyone's Legend. I don't think this is going to go towards an Elder, folks. The Cloud Soul makes it so easy to chase down. No, they don't have grubs, they have everything else they need to. The Varus Soul over the wall will add even more damage into Joy. He's lucky to make it out with his life. The Tremors very nearly pushing him down into the dirt. Base is broken for Anyone's Legend, and FPX, they have not really had much of a chance to give up a fight.
I walk in 5 minutes and Anyone's Legend decide they're going to end the game in very short order. Sheer goes forwards and tries to Drakehound step around, but unfortunately what is a hound before a dragon in the form of Anyone's Legend? Or I suppose more aptly, a set of very angry pandas. Shanks will execute one more to go 6-0 and 9. What a showing from him. A triple kill to end out the day. Anyone's Legend will make this series an even one and leave us with a decider.
AP, Aurora, who's mainly AP, Karma, who throws some amount of that back in, and then also the Ezreal as well, which I'd say about 30% of his damage is magic damage from his W, E, and R sleeper. If you can get yourself ahead in terms of early jungle camps, very important. Knight put onto mid lane. Jhin coming up. Has that ult as well. That's a good amount of CC, but Kyle body blocking for Galio. He will die, but his mid laner will live. Kyle giving his life for the cause. Hot topic for what
Vex.
happens. They should be able to get just about the one item, maybe just after that. Depends if it's delayed a little. Rod of Ages. Oh, that's a good ult coming through. Neferi starts the play as well, but that might be too far. Shadow goes out of the play, and Galio comes to join the party. Shadow does not have enough HP, and that dog has been put down. Anyone's Legend pounce, capitalizing on FPX, going far too deep into the play, and suddenly has 3 kills over. Sheer even teleported, achieves nothing, and Shanks and Kyle turn the play around
right now. And that's what I want to see internationally. It's hard to tell, particularly when it's such a big part of jungle support being a thing. But look, Kyle's fantastic. Trader turrets, first turret will stay close enough to get some last value, even if he's been burst out in the first part of it. Flandre will walk towards Care. That's the Auroral going forwards. Care does have the Realm Warp. Now, he can't use that very easily, and he's cancelled out by an Assault and Battery. Oh, sorry. They'll sue me for saying that. The cease and desist. I say that because you get it. Cease and desist. No. Ourselves. Reasons to be afraid. Take down. Given that they just mashed BLG, should have realistically been a 2-0 in this series. Now, I think that preparation was less right good now. Is in such a sweet spot where his late game is good, but also all of his important fights are happening at great moments in the time. Again, the Ezreal starting to do damage. They're doing damage to Shanks, but that's not the target. Hope needs to be killed, and he's not. It's the wrong target. Jue goes down for free. Hope takes 0 damage, and FPX, you have to question whether they understand what is... You don't kill the Ezreal, you don't threaten the Ezreal, you don't win the fight. FunPlus Phoenix, they have failed in that mid lane. 100 resists. It means a lot more when you have 2,000 health to 1,000 health. If someone casts a shield on you, which is worth 500, and you have better resists from the map... Oh my god, Hope's just killed him. This Ezreal is set to take over the game. Hope, difficult Jinx game to start out the series. But this one is a bit of a special one, isn't it? Jue, caught out by Tarzan. Well, someone's caught out by who? They are I don't know about that one. Shadow goes in with the ultimate, and the Hound's Pursuit looks like it is going to... Well, actually, I say that. They get themselves the reset. Maybe we talk too soon. The Neferi getting some damage down, and Neferi starts to get some damage up, but they haven't killed the goddamn Ezreal. He keeps going forwards, and Hope is alive. Care, less said about that, the better for FPX. They kill the Vibe, but they don't get the Ezreal. That is your golden opportunity. They get a kill participation from the Neferi, but it's onto the wrong target. And just as we've been saying, ever since that 20-minute mark when the Muramana transformed, FPX must kill Hope, the AD carry. They failed to do so. And he also keeps going forwards and assume he doesn't have summoners. And guess what? He's got no HP bar either. Flandre finds himself a great opening. Another kill to the Ezreal if they come through, but there's still half the shields there. Flandre on the side. Level 16. Yeah, there's hit from Sheer as well, but I think Flandre being so strong. Yeah, he'll nuke some people in the backline. Level 16 for Shanks as well. He'll get an extra shield from that. And they catch out Cat. Oh, that's a problem. They need their eyes to be strong. He uses his flash. Shang on Tarzan, buddy. You're now alone behind enemy lines. Flashes out of the Leona ult, though. And they have a Galio. And once again, FPX cannot find themselves the right fight, and Hope is free hitting. It's not going to be another kill, but without Shadow having any sort of platform to play around, this is an easy Mountain Soul. Tarzan, fantastic pick in the enemy jungle. I thought it might be a bit risky, but he goes away with it. The Karma gets something wrong to say, Kal-El, no. Oh, God. All right, Baron's going down. Anyone's Legend. Trying to stop FPX from heading towards that objective. And again, the Ezreal is causing huge issues. Flandre, that is way too much damage. The Leona ult gets nothing done. And Shanks is tanking. Oh my god, the Ezreal ult shreds him in half. Cleft in twain. FPX fall apart around the dragon. Flandre walking forwards again, has so many tank stats. Tarzan goes on his own because he knows he also has way too much support behind him. The E comes through from the Vi, and they won't even need a reset. They go off for the Baron, chase him down at FPX. It was a good game one, catching AL sleeping. But after that, it has been all anyone's Legend. Coming off of beating BLG, they will have 2-1 series in 2 back-to-back days as the Pandas march their way forwards. Anyone's Legend used to be awesome logo. Now they are just absolute legends from finals and split 1 on great form right here at the top of LPL's Group Ascend.